I'm your host, Adrian Rains. You're joining me for BloodBound 3, Chapter 1, The Hunger. Darkness floats around you, silent, heavy, and suffocating. And then you wake with a start, heart struggling in your chest. Your pulse feeling strangely distant, yet you can hear the rush of blood in your veins like an ocean storm. What? Where? When you try to move, you're met with narrow wooden nail walls or in a coffin. Oh my god, this can't be happening. Your front teeth poke into your lower lip, longer and sharper than they should be. Your breath comes faster as panic takes over. And then hunger. It holds you in a vice-like grip, dries out your throat as longing burns in your stomach. You want blood. No, I'm not. But the words come to you like a flare in the darkness. Vampire. Oh my god. Stronger than panic, stronger than the hunger is a desire to get the hell out of here. You use my elbow. You gather your strength and let your elbow fly into the side of the coffin. The wood splinters with a loud crack. Come on. You pound on the coffin lid and feel it break beneath your hands, opening cracks that send flurries of dirt raining down upon you. Almost. Finally, with one powerful push, you shove the coffin lid off. You hold your breath as dirt rains down over your head, realizing as you start to claw your way upwards that the urge to inhale never comes. You finally feel a cool breeze on your fingertips, and moments later your head breaks through. You're momentarily stunned by the sight of the night sky above you, streaked with stars and smoke. The stars are so bright and the smoke burns in your nose, your stomach turns and your head throbs. Slowly you crawl out of the coffin and land on the loose soil. You're in a graveyard and you're alone. Where is everyone? What happened? The memories are hazy, but you remember Gaius' smile, the pain of Jax's sword sliding into you. You remember the pain, the cold, the fear, and you remember. But you can't die. I can't lose you. I can't! Oh god. I should be dead. Why am I not dead? As you get to your feet, a dizziness makes you sway. The scent of the soil and stone around you is overwhelming. And woven into the sense is the smell of blood, delicious and taunting. Oh, that's... The hunger burns in your gut, holding your stomach. You gasp and stumble forward, following the faint smell of the blood. You eventually make it out of the graveyard and into the city, but everything is in ruins. Fires burn up the burrows and shadows stalk the alleyways. Hisses and screams and the scuffling of feet echo all around you. Hiss! Die! Vampires battle in the streets amidst the sounds of clanging steel and barking guns. Ferals descend upon wounded vampire with gnashing teeth. You press your hands over your ears, but it does nothing to drown out the tidal wave of sound. Please, stop. You come across an intersection. To the right, you hear wailing, and to the left, you smell smoke. Smoke. Yeah, to the left, smoke drifts before you, large pieces of ash collecting in your hair and on your clothes. Coughing, you push forward as crackling fills your ears, so loud you can't even hear your own thoughts. Have to get out. The heat of a nearby fire burns against your skin. You keep coughing as tears escape the corner of your eyes. You trip over a black mound, which you realize is a burned human body. What the hell is happening? Still, you stumble onward, keeping to the shadows, your shoulders scraping against the sides of destroyed buildings. Finally, you manage to escape the worst of the chaos as you head for Central Park. Blood still hangs in the air, luring you on. The hunger cramps inside you, and you nearly double over from pain. And then you smell it, human blood, fresh and delicious. Where? Oh my god! Oh my god, no! You watch as a bleeding woman limps into the park to find a place to hide. The woman's safety is far from your mind as you smell her blood, thick and fragrant in the air. Your stomach clenches as a deep, rumbling want grows stronger within you. I won't. I'll chase her. You charge forward without even realizing. Your mouth hangs open as you drool, famished. You lick your lips even as your mind screams at you to stop, to realize what you're doing. Wait, An inhuman growl escapes you as you speed up, the bark blurring around you as you close in on the woman. The woman turns back and sees you, her scream rattles through your skull. No, please stay away! Blood is dripping down her legs, splattering the grass. Smells better than any food you've ever smelled, more alluring than any wine. You need it badly. Than you've ever needed anything, you need it. I'll feed. You grin in anticipation as you lurch forward to grab the woman. No! Then a hand grabs your wrist. Amy! You whirl around and bare your fangs with a growl, eyes wild, hunger tearing you apart. You try to fight. Amy, what are you doing? Stop! It's all too much. You immediately become weakened, the peak of your hunger dissolving into exhaustion. Hungry. So hungry. You're alive. You're alive! But you can't answer. Darkness closes in. You finally lose consciousness. You gradually come back to consciousness, your head spinning. What? Before you can make out where you are, four familiar faces lean over you. Amy! Are you alright? What the hell happened? I told you, we shouldn't have left her there. Their voices overwhelm you, crowding your mind. You clutch your head with a wince. Let's give her some space. They reluctantly take a step back from you as you sit up slowly, realizing you're at Rain's HQ. I feel so awful. Mind is fuzzy with visions of Central Park, of a woman screaming. You think you're going to be sick. The hunger that consumed you, it's faded a bit, and you can't help but notice an empty goblet resting on the desk, the brim lined with blood. Oh. When you look up, the others are watching you carefully. Adrian, I have no idea what's going on. Amy. He takes your hands in his, your nails, beds are dark with dirt, your skin streaked with grave soil. You realize that you're shaking. Adrian puts an arm around you, steadying you. It'll be alright. I promise. The others exchange a look that's hard to read. You struggle to swallow. What is the last thing you remember before waking in the graveyard? We were in the museum with Gaius. I staked him. Don't tell me we didn't win. No, you staked him, alright. You were brave, resourceful, incredible. You treated his ass. But he stabbed you in return. The wound was... He hesitates for a second, words trapped in his throat. It was fatal. He killed you, Amy. A hush falls over the others as you try to wrap your head around what she's saying. I died? We did everything we could, but the wound was too deep. You were too far gone. Another silence falls forward before Adrian steps forward. I had to turn you. It was the only way. You stare at him, trying to make sense of his words. You turned me. I'm a vampire? Saying the words out loud fills you with an aching fear. You've been around vampires for so long, but never expected to become one of them. The world around you is no longer the same. You aren't the same. I couldn't bear to lose you. I refused. I panicked. I'm not proud to admit it, but I couldn't lose you, Amy. You nod and close your eyes. I understand. But the turning didn't take. I don't know why. We waited all day, but you were still gone. You stayed dead. So we brought you to the graveyard. We buried you. We mourned you. I mourned you. That's why I was there today, to visit you. You try to even out your breathing as his words take root. How long was I gone? 4 days. We thought you were dead. You were dead. Oh. And then I found you in Central Park as a vampire. You still can't figure out how you feel. The hunger is still gnawing at your gut. You think of the poor woman in the park and shudder, tears pricking your eyes. I'm a vampire. I am a vampire. You say it a few more times quietly to yourself as you begin to accept the grim truth. The heaviness in the air lifts slightly as Lily wraps you in her arms, trembling as she cries with you. God, Amy, I can't believe you're back. We lost you. We really thought we lost you. And now you're back. Cling to her tightly, relief finally swelling within you. The other three look on with faint smiles. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Amy, there's nothing to be sorry for. We failed to protect you. But it's all too much to convey in simple words. You sob into Lily's shoulder. She rocks you back and forth. You feel the other's hands at your back, on your shoulders, stroking your hair away from your grimy face. You're safe. Adrian cups your cheeks, and you lean into the contact. Others take note and wisely leave the room, giving you some time alone. Adrian takes your face in his hands and rests your foreheads together. I'm so sorry. You had to go through this, Amy. I never wanted this for you. His voice breaks, and you can see the struggle in his eyes, the fear. You were gone, and I snapped. I had to bring you back. I didn't even stop to think about the consequences of how life would change for you once you became a vampire. Amy, can you ever forgive me? I forgive you. Adrian, of course I forgive you. I would have done the same for you. But this is huge, Amy. The transition from human to vampires is far from easy. Your hands on his broad shoulders, letting him be your anchor. Then it's a good thing I have you to help, isn't it? Adrian laughs gently, amazedly. He strokes a thumb over your cheek as if reminding himself you're real. The world is a mess. The cities are burning, but right now I'm just so happy to have you back. It's the mildest touch, but the sensation is overwhelming, like somehow caressing your entire body at once. You grasp, closing your eyes. I can't believe I was dead for 4 days. Why do you think it took so long? I wondered the same thing. My theory is that because you're the blood keeper, your body didn't know how to transition right away. The very first vampire blood keeper. That'll be something for the history books. You take a deep breath, collecting yourself as the others re-enter the room. Wait, so if Gaius was defeated, then why is New York still all apocalypsy? Gaius may have been stopped, but his minions still live, inflicting chaos. He really did a number on the city. The US government evacuated as many civilians as they could, but between the ones trapped behind in the vampire war or the ferals, it's an anarchy. Where are the rest of your clans? Working on damage control all over the city. Mikhail's been leading the efforts. Oh, good for him. So is Manhattan just cut off from the rest of the world, or...? Basically, there are a few senior government officials who know about our Shadow Kingdom. They've been in touch to try and work out what's next. Which reminds me, we have a meeting soon to coordinate the next step. Can I come? Of course, but first, you kind of need to change out of your clothes. You see everyone staring down at you, and you look down. Your outfit, it's all, grave-y? I don't have anything with me. Actually, does our apartment even still exist? Surprisingly, yeah, but for your debut as a vampire, your girl has you covered. Lily rushes out of the room and returns with... Really? This is our debut in vampire form. I mean, I guess it's cute for vampire form. Put on the new outfit, and you can't help but admire how you look. Have I ever told you you make a stunning vampire? No, but I expected to hear it every day from now on. You walk into the familiar conference room, the place where you had your interview with Adrian, where the council used to meet. What's left of the council sits at the long table, and you join them. You're already looking the part in that outfit, Amy. You think? Absolutely. 100%. All vampires need to look sleek and sexy. It's the rules. Yeah, pretty much. The flat screen TV at the far end of the room flickers on, revealing a stern woman with a dour expression. You lean over to Lily and whisper, "Is that Secretary of Defense Moira Pembroke? Yeah, we big league." Adrian, thank goodness you're alright. I was worried when I didn't hear from you. I apologize, Moira. There was a complication. He glances fleetingly at you, but you try not to look down at your lab. How are the evacuees doing? As well as they can, given that they had to run from their homes without explanation. Adrian, tell me what the hell is going on down there. Then don't bother trying to fluff it up for me. I need the truth. Adrian shares a pained look with the others. You clasp your hands together, distantly aware that you can hear everyone's heartbeat speeding up. The cause of the chaos, Gaius Augustine, has been defeated. He won't be a problem ever again. But the city is still in chaos. Gaius' followers are running rampant, killing the poor civilians who weren't able to evacuate. The ones that are lucky, they kill are lucky. The ones who survive, they are ferals. New York's become their playground. How is the rest of the world handling this? Pembroke seems to notice you for the first time. Is this a new council? A new member of the council? Me, I'm a bloodkeeper. Moira lets out a bone-weary sigh. And what exactly is a bloodkeeper? It's a little hard to explain, but basically hold all the vampires' memories and bloodlines. I see. You can tell she's already sizing you up, wondering how you could be helpful. Camilla clears her throat. Amy is one of us, that's all you need to know. Now, in any case, the current cover story we've sold the world is there's a massive disease outbreak has ravaged New York. A new degenerative disease that can trigger intense hallucinations and violent outbursts. But this bullshit can only hold for so long. The world is watching, Adrian. I need to act. What are you implying? And Pembroke sighs, and you notice how exhausted she looks. The other factions in the government are pressing me to cleanse the city with an airstrike. So you're gonna bomb the hell out of us, just like some sort of exterminator? I don't want to resort to that, but things are getting desperate. The military only needs my word to launch an attack. That won't be necessary, Moira. We can take care of things on our end. You better be right. I can give you 72 hours, but after that, I won't be able to stop what's coming. 72 hours is more than enough. Thank you, Moira. The call cuts out and Jack gets up to angrily pace. Bomb the island. What the hell's that woman thinking? She get answers to the government. There's only so much she can do. Will 72 hours really be enough time to take care of all of this? It'll have to be. I've called for a meeting of the vampires in Central Park tomorrow night. A lot of them are hiding or trying to protect the humans. We'll re-establish the council's authority and make it known that traitors will be dealt with swiftly and severely. and then order will be restored. You open your mouth to convey your support, but the hunger lurches within you, making the room spin as you clutch your stomach and groan. You need to feed, Amy. The goblet we gave you will only last so long. Feed like blood, like human blood? It's the only way. If you don't get it in your system, it'll be a repeat of Central Park. You'll lose control. Remember that terrible hunger, and even at the thought of drinking blood repulses you, you can feel a strange yearning at the thought. I guess. Come with me. I'll show you what to do. Follow Adrian down the elevator towards the archives in the basement. When you step out, you're surprised to see several humans there. Oh. There are cots and miniature fridges, as well as a portable cooking station. We've taken in as many as we could. In return, they've agreed to willingly let us feed on them when we need to. At the sight of Adrian, two humans get up and wander over with weary smiles. Is it that time again? We just ate, so we have the energy for it. I'm glad to hear it. My friend Amy is in dire need of your help. Yeah, of course. It's the least we can do after all you've done for us. You're still uneasy at the thought. But you can smell their blood already. Hot, inviting. You lick your lips and glance between the two humans. This is it. I'm really doing it. I'm really gonna drink some blood. Go ahead and choose whomever you like. Most people will go with the heartthrob wannabe teenager boy. I'm gonna go with her. Reach tentatively towards the woman who smiles and steps closer. This will be Amy's first time feeding, so I'll need to direct her through it. No worries. Take your time. But you don't want to take your time. You want to grab her and sink your newly shaped fangs into her tender throat. Adrian instincts you to take hold of the woman, trembling you do so. Good. Find the spot where the vein runs across her neck. You gently brush away the young woman's hair. She shivers slightly. The vein streaks across her neck, and you can hear the blood rushing through it. Now, slowly and carefully bite down. Bring your mouth to the woman's neck. She smells like cheap soap and linen, but also like the most delicious meal you've ever had. As the rest of the point of your fangs against the woman's neck, her heart begins to race, sending the blood rushing through her veins, the sound deafening. You can't help it any longer. Your fangs puncture skin, sinking into the rich vein. Easy. You hold tightly to the woman and take a moment to orient yourself. Even as blood touches your tongue, you moan in pleasure. Now remove your fangs and take a couple small pulls. You hesitate, and Adrian rests a hand on the back of your neck, squeezing gently. Release. Follow his order and retract your fangs. The young woman is panting. Good. Now drink. Slowly. You cover the bite marks with your mouth, sucking. Blood rushes down your throat, hot and exhilarating. You can feel it flood you, invigorating you, like you drinking hot, pulsing light. You can feel it course through your muscles, your limbs, healing you, strengthening you. The woman arches against you as you feed, sating your hunger deep inside of you. That should be enough for now. But it's not nearly enough. You grab the old woman's hip in a bruising grip, a growl, and gulping down as much blood as you can. Please, Amy! Squeeze at the back of your neck again, and you release the woman to turn and hiss at him. It's only when you realize how pale the woman's become. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. I'll just need to lie down. Amy, heal her. Prick your finger and put your blood to her bite marks. You do as he says. Watching the wound disappear, the young woman slumps down as someone offers her a pillow. God, I can't believe I lost control like that. It happens to all of us at first. You'll get used to it, I promise. But believe me, you have no idea what truly losing control looks like. I hope you're right. You spare the humans one last look, guilt choking you as you turn and follow Hadrian back up the elevator. Upstairs, you rejoin the others. Well, how did it go? Any better than my first feeding? Barely. Yikes, I'm sorry. You'll get used to it, I know. You should probably get some rest, Amy. Or if you like, you can come to my place to unwind. Ooh, I got a bottle of tequila with your name on it, girl. I have a new apartment now at the Shadow Tin. It's under renovation. Again, you can come over and see it if you like. We'll spend a quiet evening with me. That all sounds nice. I could really do with some distractions right now. This is your chance to spend your first night as a vampire with, getting close to someone. Who will it be? Who do you think? I mean, really? Who did you think it was gonna be? Let's be off then. As you set foot in Adrian's apartment, exhaustion washes over you. You only get a few steps into the door before you have to lean against the counter to rest. Tired? Who knew that breaking out of your own grave, wandering through the lawless city, and drinking blood for the first time could be so exhausting? Adrian laughs softly, but it doesn't quite reach his ears. I just can't imagine what that was like, walking alone, waking up alone in a coffin. Look, I don't blame you guys for doing what you did. I was dead, I understand. But we should have waited longer. If we had just known. But you didn't know, so it's alright. Adrian stares at you for a moment longer before he turns simply towards the bar cart. You're right. You're here now, which is what matters. Still, his hands grip the sides of the bar cart so tightly you think the bronze metal might bend. Adrian. Step up behind him and loop your arms around his waist, wrapping them tightly around his taut middle. You can feel his heart thundering in his chest as though it were your own, hearing each quiet, shuddering breath with clarity you could have never imagined. You rest your head on his back. I know this isn't how either of us imagined things would end up, but I'm here, I'm alive, sort of. I'm not sorry, and you shouldn't be either. His grip on the cart relaxes a little, though his muscles still feel coiled tight under your touch. I wish I could forgive myself as easily as you forgive me. What did I ever do to deserve someone like you? He gives a hoarse chuckle and releases his grip on the cart. He hefts an expensive-looking bottle in his hands and pours 2 fingers into 2 icy glasses. For a minute on there, I'm like, am I really reading this? Pours 2 fingers, okay. I'm being selfish. We should be celebrating your return. He rolls around and hands you a glass. You clink your glass against his. As you take a sip, the flavors explode on your tongue, nearly making you drop the glass. You stumble back onto the bed, staring at the glass in your hand in awe. Does everything taste amazing with vampire senses? Everything is heightened, for sure. Bad things tend to taste even more foul as well. Pros and cons, I suppose. You gaze into your glass, wondering what else you'll have to get used to now that you're no longer human. Adrian notices the sudden mood shift and comes to sit beside you, putting a hand on your leg. It's alright to grieve for your lost life, Amy. I don't know if grief is the right word for it. This is just also different, being a part of your world instead of watching from the outside. I don't know where I fit in yet. I don't think I understand who I am. Adrian squeezes your leg sympathetically. It was the same for me once one Gaius turned me. How did you deal with it? It was torture at first. I just lost my wife, my child, my life. I barely had the chance to mourn it before Gaius was giving me missions, teaching me how to be his soldier, unleashing the darkness within me and setting me loose to kill. And I met Camila, and some of the other vampires. I had to try and fit in with them. At least they think me the weakest of the pack. And now I'm the weakest of the pack. Don't say that, Amy. You're the youngest of us, true, but you're also likely the strongest. A vampire bloodkeeper that's new, that's powerful. We just need to keep developing your skills. You've only been a vampire for 1 day. We'll have plenty of time. I hope you're right. Smile slightly before he moves to the kitchen. If you want, I could cook us up something. Adrian, I will never say no to food. That's what I was counting on. What do you have? I want something savory. Ah, I can absolutely do that. Watch from the couch as Adrian takes out the pots and pans, rolling up sleeves to cook. Soon the apartment is flooded with the smell of fragrant spices, the sound of sizzling pans. You realize you're drooling. This is so weird. I just ate, but I'm still hungry. Do vampires have 2 stomachs? Yes, actually. 1 small one for blood, above your normal one. And 2 livers, too. A strange spiked organ we never got to the bottom of. Did you, Adrian Raines, just tell a joke? Add you to the last one. Eventually, he brings you a plate of pasta with a decadent cream sauce. You take 1 bite and moan. Okay, this is officially the best pasta to ever be pastated. Once the 2 of you have eaten, you sit in comfortable silence and look out the wide windows. The sky is still streaked with smoke. I can't believe the city has fallen to vampires. It's like something out of a horror movie. Adrian doesn't reply. He's looking at you intently, and you shift self-consciously. What? Is there food on my face? No, I'm just so glad you're here with me. So glad you're back. You relax as he comes closer, sitting beside you. Adrian cups your face in his palm, and his thumb stroking your cheek lightly. Amy, when I thought we'd lost you, I know, Adrian. I know. He covers his hand with yours, twining your fingers together. Your eyes meet, and you can see the depth of the years he's lived, the tragedies he's experienced. You won't lose me again. I promise. That's a big promise to make, Amy. Good thing I intend to keep it. He breathes out a laugh, leaning closer. You find yourself leaning towards him in response. You wrap a hand around the back of his neck and draw him towards you. When your lips meet, you gasp in shock. Ah! Your nerve endings sing with exquisite pleasure, your lips sparking and tingling against Adrian's. It sends a shiver through your body. Ah, this is one of those vampire pros I mentioned earlier. You don't say. You pull him in again, ready for it this time. Its touch crashes into you, making you fall back against the couch as the room spins. Ah, Adrian. Cups your face and opens his mouth. You do the same, your tongues brushing together slowly, carefully. Amy. Your toes curl as Adrian kisses you deeper, his fingertips skimming over your throat. Your body is on fire, aching like you have a fever. Ah. And then suddenly the apartment around you fades. You see Adrian in a soldier's uniform, his teeth gritted as he charges over a churned-up battlefield. As you watch, Adrian runs a man through with a bayonet. Come out of the vision with a gasp. Amy, are you alright? Yeah, I saw something, a memory, your memory. It must be your bloodkeeper ability. Strokes your cheek, looking in your eyes. What did you see? You were in the middle of a battle, maybe during the Civil War? He nods slightly, then kisses you again. Even the small contact is enough to light you up. There were a lot of battles, and still more to fight. But I'll be by your side now. Yes, and I'll be by yours. He kisses you, making you shudder. You're still getting used to your new senses. Let's take it easy tonight. Deal. He sinks into your arms, your mouths gently coming together. You drown him in as the kiss goes on and on until you know you'd happily die here in his arms. The next night, you and the others regroup before the big meeting. So, on a scale from 1 to Gaius, how dangerous do you think this meeting will be? Potentially very. Gaius is gone, but his followers are still out there, still loyal. One might try to take advantage of the chaos. And that's not even mentioning the pharaohs. There's a lot of them out there, doing their thing. Actually, that reminds me, there's one thing you haven't yet done, Amy. You need a brand. Yeah, definitely want to get on that. You're probably fine, but it'd royally suck if you became a feral after everything. Don't have to tell me twice, so how do I get a brand? The whole thing with the burning amulet. Actually, I thought we'd use a tattoo machine now. A little speedier, and less painful. Typically it would come from your maker, but in your case, you can choose which clan you want to be a part of. I may not be a clan leader, but I can give you one I designed if you prefer. There is also another option, an injection Rain's Corp invented for newly turned vampires that'll stave off becoming feral. You'll have to take it regularly, but if you don't want a tattoo, it's an option. Lily's brand, Jax's brand, Adrian's brand, Camilla's brand. Why not? I'm happy to welcome you to Clan Reigns, Amy. I'm happy to be here. Adrian leads you towards his office, where you sit down as he prepares the tattoo machine. You just keep one of these in your office? For moments like this, yes, it can come in quite handy. True. You take off your top, and Adrian slides over next to you. He cuts himself and bleeds into the container where the ink is supposed to go. You shiver. Adrian brushes his thumb over your upper arm, savoring the smooth, blank canvas of your skin. Are you ready? You swallow. Ready. As he begins to work, you hold back a gasp and bite down on your knuckles. The pain is amplified tenfold thanks to your vampire senses. And yet, despite the pain, there's almost an undercurrent of pleasure. The look on Adrian's face is one of concentration and desire. Watch hypnotize as he inks his own blood into your skin, connecting the two of you in a way even more intimate than you could have ever imagined. You feel him, distantly, all the sorrowful years of his life fanned before you. Adrian? When he's done, he sets the machine down and gently wipes the new brand on your arm with a sanitary cloth. You feel electric, alive. Are you alright? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Adrian. My pleasure. He holds your hand a moment before you go to rejoin the others. Soon enough, you arrive at Central Park for the meeting, tense and alert. You're amazed at the crowd of vampires who have formed before a makeshift dais, muttering and shifting on their feet. I didn't expect to see this many of them. Ooh, I like how the tattoo pops over. I can guarantee that not all of them are going to be on our side, but we have to try. Adrian takes to the dais, where a podium has been erected. A hush falls over the vampires. Thank you all for coming. We know you're eager to know more about what's happening and how we can progress from here. Gaius' attack was devastating. He's left us with nothing but a ruined legacy to clean up. The aftermath of the storm. I wish I had better news, but the truth is that the Secretary of Defense is only giving us 48 hours to restore order here in New York. More rumblings from the crowd. I know. It's not very much time, but it's all we have. We'll need to work together to ensure that the chaos can finally end and we can have a future. We can work to ensure a better... Ha! Future, my ass. Excuse me. From the crowd emerges a large, burly vampire wearing a mask, an animal skull. The other vampires shrink back from him. Hey, look! Look, it's Roadhog. What makes you so qualified to lead us? The Council... Screw the Council. You flaunt those pretty words and pretty promises. But we all know that once things go back to order, we'll be under your heel. It'll all be the same as it always been. Vampires ruling other vampires, setting the rules, playing with power until they go mad with it. Crowd murmurs with intrigue as the man's words, and you can feel your stomach sink. Who the hell are you? Name's Bishop, and I am the leader of the Unchained. We serve no clans, no council, no kings. The Unchained only follow one rule. Chaos reigns. You cheers go up from the other vampires. Adrian sends the rest of you an alarmed look. Camila scoffs and steps forward, crossing her arms. And what exactly do you mean to accomplish with this little tantrum? Are you rejecting the Council's authority? Oh, I'm doing much more than that. With that, Bishop raises his hands, and you see movement all around you. What? A dozen masked vampires lunge out of the foliage and debris, crossbows trained on the clan leaders. I'm not rejecting the Council. I'm abolishing it. I'm killing you all. Oh no, what a shock. I don't know what to say. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And down description below, links to social media, Discord, if you'd like to support me and my content. Remember, next chapter will be coming out next Saturday. We got some Big Sky Country 2 coming out later, and then some Desire and Decorum, because I gotta catch up on that stuff, as well as a few hidden gems later. And also, we'll be streaming. If you want to head over to mixer.com/locum23, we will be streaming. And without further ado, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Shut up, cowboy!